My name is Patricia and I am 42 years old. I am a single mother to a beautiful 20-year-old daughter named Maya. Maya is my entire universe. She is the reason I wake up every morning and the reason I fight through every single day. She is the reason I am still alive. 10 years ago, I almost gave up. I was 32 years old and I had absolutely nothing. I had lost my job. I had lost my home. I had lost all hope. I was sitting in a tiny motel room with no money and no future. Maya was 10 years old. She was sleeping on the other bed. She had no idea that her mother was falling apart. She had no idea that I was thinking about ending everything. I could not see a way out. I could not see a future. I could not see any reason to keep going. But I could not leave Maya alone. I could not abandon her like everyone else had abandoned me. So I sat down and I wrote her a letter. I wrote it because I thought I would not survive the night. I wrote it because I wanted her to know how much I loved her. I wrote it because I wanted her to know that she was the best thing that ever happened to me. I wrote it because I wanted her to know that none of it was her fault. I poured my heart onto that paper. I told her about my childhood and my struggles. I told her about the pain and the rejection. I told her about the dreams I had given up. I told her about the love I had for her. I wrote for hours. When I was finished, I folded the letter and put it in an envelope. I wrote her name on the front. I hid it in a box under the bed. I did not know if I would ever give it to her. I did not know if I would ever survive the night. But I did survive. I looked at Maya sleeping and I made a decision. I would keep going. I would keep fighting. I would never give up. I would find a way. I would build a life for her. I would give her everything I never had. I would be the mother she deserved. I put the letter away and I forgot about it. I focused on surviving. I focused on working. I focused on building a future. I did not think about that letter for 10 years. I did not remember it until Maya found it. And when she found it, everything changed. I found a job at a small grocery store. It did not pay much, but it was something. I worked the night shift. I stocked shelves and cleaned floors and helped customers. I was exhausted, but I did not complain. I was grateful to have a job. I was grateful to be alive. I moved out of the motel and into a tiny apartment. It was small and cramped and had no heat, but it was ours. It was a roof over our heads. It was a place to sleep. It was a start. I worked 2 jobs for years. I worked at the grocery store during the day. I cleaned houses at night. I saved every penny I earned. I did not buy anything for myself. I wore old clothes and ate cheap food. Everything I had went to Maya. I wanted her to have a better life than I did. I wanted her to feel safe and loved and secure. I wanted her to know that she could always count on me. I was determined to break the cycle of poverty. I was determined to give Maya a future. I was determined to prove that I was enough. Maya grew up in that tiny apartment. She did not have new clothes or video games or vacations. But she had love. She had hope. She had a mother who never gave up. She was smart and kind and full of dreams. She did well in school. She made friends. She was happy. I was so proud of her. I watched her grow and I felt a sense of purpose. I felt like everything I had gone through was worth it. Because Maya was happy. Maya was healthy. Maya was thriving. That was all that mattered to me. I did not need money or success or recognition. I just needed Maya to be okay. And she was more than okay. She was amazing. She was the best thing that ever happened to me. I thanked God every single day for her. I thanked him for giving me a reason to keep going. I thanked him for not letting me give up that night. I looked at Maya and I saw my future. I saw hope and joy and endless possibilities. She was my greatest achievement. She was my reason for everything. 10 years passed. Maya turned 20 years old. She was in college studying psychology. She wanted to help people who had gone through trauma. She wanted to be a therapist. She wanted to make a difference. I was so proud of her. She was everything I ever dreamed she would be. One day she was cleaning my room. She was helping me organize my closet. She found a box under the bed. It was old and dusty and covered in cobwebs. She opened it and found the letter. She did not know what it was. She did not know I had written it. She brought it to me and said, "Mom, what is this?" I looked at the envelope and I felt my heart stop. I had forgotten about that letter. I had forgotten about that night. I had forgotten about the pain and the darkness. I took the envelope from her hands. I said, "It is nothing, baby. Just an old letter." She looked at me with curious eyes. She said, "Mom, why does it have my name on it?" I did not know what to say. I had never told her about that night. I had never told her how close I came to giving up. I had never told her about the darkness that I had felt. I did not want to burden her with my pain. I did not want her to feel guilty. I did not want her to know that her mother had almost given up. But she was 20 years old. She was an adult. She deserved to know the truth. I sat her down and I told her everything. I told her about the motel room. I told her about the darkness. I told her about the letter. She listened without saying a word. When I finished, she was crying. She said, "Mom, I never knew. You were always so strong. You never showed me that you were struggling." I said, "I did not want you to worry. I did not want you to see me broken. I wanted to protect you." She hugged me and said, "You did protect me. You protected me from everything. You gave me a beautiful life. You are the strongest person I know." I held her and I cried. I cried because I was grateful. I cried because I was proud. I cried because I had survived. I had come so far from that motel room. I had built a life that I never thought was possible. And Maya was the reason for all of it. Maya asked if she could read the letter. I hesitated at first. It was so personal. It was so raw. It was so vulnerable. I had written it at the darkest moment of my life. I was not sure if I was ready to share it. But Maya looked at me with her gentle eyes. She said, "Mom, I want to understand. I want to know what you went through. I want to know who you were before you became the strongest person." "I know." I nodded and handed her the letter. She opened it slowly. She read it quietly. I watched her face as she read. I saw her eyes well up with tears. I saw her hand tremble. I saw her heart break. When she finished, she was sobbing. She looked at me and said, "Mom, you wrote this 10 years ago. You were so broken. You were so hopeless. But you survived. You kept going. You built a life for us. You gave me everything." She hugged me tightly. She said, "I am going to do something with this letter. I am going to show it to the world. I am going to use it to help people." I did not understand what she meant. I said, "What do you mean, baby?" She said, "I am going to share your story. I am going to share this letter. I am going to show people that they can survive anything, that they can overcome any struggle, that they can build a life from nothing, just like you did." I did not know how to feel. Part of me was proud. Part of me was scared. The letter was so personal. It was so raw. It was so vulnerable. I was not sure if I was ready to share it with the world. But Maya was determined. She said, "Mom, this letter is your gift to the world. It is your gift to everyone who is struggling. It is your gift to everyone who feels like giving up. I am going to use it to inspire others. I am going to use it to make a difference." Maya asked for my permission to share the letter. I thought about it for a long time. I thought about the pain and the darkness. I thought about the motel room and the hopelessness. I thought about the journey I had traveled. I had come so far. I had built a life from nothing. I had given Maya everything. I had proven that I was strong. I had proven that I was resilient. I had proven that I was enough. I decided to let her share it. I decided to let my story be a light for others. I decided to let my pain become someone else's hope. Maya posted the letter on social media. She wrote a caption explaining the story behind it. She explained that her mother had written it at the darkest moment of her life. She explained that her mother had survived and built a beautiful life. She explained that her mother was the strongest person she knew. The post went viral. Thousands of people shared it. Millions of people read it. People from all over the world reached out to us.
They told us that the letter had given them hope.
They told us that they were also struggling, but they would keep fighting. They told us that they were inspired by my story. I was overwhelmed by the response. I did not expect it. I did not think anyone would care about my story. But they did. They cared because they had been through similar struggles. They cared because they had felt similar pain. They cared because they needed hope. My story gave them that hope. Maya started a foundation called The Letter. She used the letter to raise awareness about mental health and homelessness. She gave speeches and held events. She shared my story and inspired thousands of people. I was so proud of her. I was so grateful for her. She had taken my pain and turned it into purpose. She had taken my darkness and turned it into light. She had taken my brokenness and turned it into beauty. Maya's foundation grew quickly. She received donations from all over the world. She used the money to help struggling single mothers. She provided housing and job training and counseling. She gave them the same hope that I had been given. She gave them the same chance that I had been given. She was changing lives. She was making a difference. She was doing what I never could. I was so proud of her. I watched her speak at conferences and events. I watched her share my story with thousands of people. I watched her inspire others to keep going. I saw the impact she was making and I felt a sense of peace. I had done something right. I had raised a daughter who cared about others. I had raised a daughter who wanted to make a difference. I had raised a daughter who was changing the world. Maya told me that I was the inspiration for everything she did. She told me that my strength had taught her to be strong. She told me that my love had taught her to love. She told me that my resilience had taught her to never give up. I hugged her and cried. I cried because I was proud. I cried because I was grateful. I cried because I had survived. I had come so far from that motel room. I had built a life that I never thought was possible. I had raised a daughter who was changing the world. And that was the most beautiful thing of all. Maya started a podcast called The Letter. She interviewed single mothers from all over the world. She shared their stories and struggles. She created a community of support and hope. The podcast became hugely popular. Listeners wrote in to say that it had changed their lives. They said that they felt less alone. They said that they felt seen and heard. They said that they felt understood. Maya was doing what I never could. She was using her voice to lift others up. She was using her platform to make a difference. And I was so incredibly proud of her. Years passed. Maya continued her work. The foundation grew and helped thousands of families. The podcast reached millions of listeners. My story had become a global inspiration. I never expected that. I never expected that a letter written in a dark motel room would change so many lives. I never expected that my pain would become someone else's hope. I never expected that my struggle would become someone else's strength. But it did. It did because I survived. It did because I kept going. It did because I believed in myself when no one else did. I look back at that night in the motel room and I feel a sense of gratitude. I am grateful that I did not give up. I am grateful that I found the strength to keep going. I am grateful that I wrote that letter because that letter saved my life. Then it saved others. I have made peace with my past. I have forgiven my parents. I have forgiven myself. I have let go of the anger and the shame. I have embraced the person I have become. I am strong. I am resilient. I am enough. I have learned that our pain can become our purpose. Our struggles can become our strength. Our darkness can become our light. I have learned that we are never truly alone. There is always someone who cares. There is always someone who needs us. There is always someone who believes in us. We just have to believe in ourselves first. I have learned that we have to be our own cheerleader. We have to be our own support system. We have to be our own source of hope. Because sometimes there's no one else to do it. Sometimes we are all we have. And that is okay because we are enough. We have always been enough. We just have to realize it. Today I am 42 years old. I have a beautiful home and a successful career. I have a daughter who is changing the world. I have peace and joy and gratitude. I have come full circle. I have turned my pain into purpose. I have turned my rejection into triumph. I have turned my darkness into light. I never thought I would be here. I never thought I would survive that night in the motel room. But I did. I survived. I thrived. I built a life of purpose and meaning. And I am so proud of who I have become. I want every single person watching this to know something. No matter how hard life gets, do not give up. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep believing. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is on the way. And one day you will look back and smile. You will realize that every struggle was worth it. Every tear was worth it. Every sleepless night was worth it. Because you made it. You survived. You thrived. And that is the most beautiful victory of all. My story is not just about a letter. It is about survival. It is about strength. It is about a mother who refused to let her daughter see her broken. It is about a daughter who took her mother's pain and turned it into purpose. It is about a family that refused to be defeated. I look at Maya and I see my reflection. I see strength. I see resilience. I see hope. She is everything I ever wanted to be. She is everything I ever dreamed of. She is my greatest achievement. She is my reason for everything. I will never let anyone hurt her. I will protect her with everything I have. I will give her the life she deserves. And I will never break a promise to her. Because that is what a good mother does. That is what love looks like. That is what strength feels like. This is my story. This is my truth. And I am sharing it with you so that you can find your own strength, so that you can find your own voice, so that you can find your own path. Because you deserve it. You deserve happiness. You deserve success. You deserve love. And you will have all of it. Just keep going. Just keep believing. Just keep fighting. And one day, you will look back and say, I did it. I made it. And I am so proud of myself. That day will come. I promise you, it will come. So hold on. Hold on tight. Because the best is yet to come.